Hey everyone, welcome back to this episode of The Sky Realm. We're super stoked to have you joining us. I'm Bodhi, you're an exceptional Dungeon Master. I'm joined by our exceptional cast of players. Last episode, our players began preparing for some celebrations after defeating Travis Darkheart, the entity that was destroying the Sacred Tree of Lacrima. And then they were offered to join a secretive faction known as the Water Runners. The team deliberated and decided that yes, they shall be joining the Water Runners. So after that, they were set to put on a performance in the Cream of the Crop Brewery. And we hope you guys enjoy this episode. Quickly before we get into it, a couple of shout outs to our editing team, Becky and Ben. Shout out to our art team, Josh, Victor and Alex. And shout out to Underground Oracle Publishing for allowing us to use some of their content in our stream. So, if you're sitting comfortably, let's begin.
It's just over there, actually. If you are, and he points to like an open area by the fire where they've actually like moved the. There was the chair that Dolly Thatch was sat in, and Myrtle Thatch was sat in, and moves that out the way, and kind of the carpet has been pushed to one side, and the fire is kind of crackling. He's like, all right over there, and
oh God, he's there.
Amazing. Ólafur goes, no, guys, go for it. Feel free to indulge. I'll catch you all tomorrow and throughout the evening. But we'll make way on at 11 tomorrow. Is that all right with everyone?
Yes. That's all I'm saying. Yep.
Amazing. No problem. Awesome. Well, go.
Adios.
Go serenade us, guys. I look forward to hearing it. And he kind of like leans back in his chair and grabs his 10 card and kind of smiles at you guys. At this moment,
all are standing back. I'm like, the only way we're going to join is if you partake as well. So, I'm going to need you to be in this too. If you want us to really help, we're going to help each other. So, you're going to be part of the show as well.
He looks at his 10 card and it's like 1/4 drunk. He picks it up. Puts it down. Why not? When in Lacrima, they say, you know. And he gets up and kind of strides over with you guys. At this point, I want to quickly ask before we do get into any performance or anything like that: is there anyone who is not wanting to participate in tonight's festivities, at least at the beginning? Is there anyone who's not wanting to? No? Everyone good?
I think opened up with everyone.
Yeah, we're all...
What a silly question.
I would have cried. I would have gone total like, no.
On your job?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, yeah.
Evis won't be like partaking in alcohol, but they will have a lot of tea.
So, as you guys make your way over to the performance area and you guys are kind of getting ready, typically when I get groups to perform, or groups in D&D are going to be performing, I typically like to ask the group what song you will be performing. If you have a rendition of a song that you will be performing or anything like that you may know. And yeah, also I like to kind of ask what everyone's role in the performance is, just so I can understand what everyone is kind of doing. So feel free to let me know if there's a song that you guys are singing and then or are performing, and then what your guys' roles are within the group. Ólafur is going to do the old foot tap, click and hum. You know, that kind of thing. There you go.
Toad's gonna vibe with that.
As Gio's walking up, sort of following the crowd, just warming up his whistling, and not as a suggestion, but he's just whistling. Don't worry, be happy.
good one.
Nice. Amazing.
Can you whistle it?
Struggling.
We're going to get the whistle.
I meant like robes.
Oh,
yeah.
But dude, will we get covered?
Worry, be unhappy. The slightly different ripoff.
Exactly. Go for it, Arnar. What are you tambourining away?
I think Arnar is going to go to and be like, we seem to have an issue. This is not designed to fit my hand. It's too small. I think it was designed for a child or perhaps a normal-sized person. So
It still makes noise though. Does it still not?
maybe if I hold it on the side like this, like a small sandwich, perhaps the percussive dampening might add a different mood to the music. I don't know.
I like this.
Oh, you do know. You know deep down inside. So you go with that.
I do.
It's gonna sound amazing. Yes, you do. Intuitively. Just like you do, as you do with numbers, as you do with cases, I don't think you give yourself enough credit for what you may be feeling. And so I think if you just kind of dig into that as well, open up a whole nother ball game for you. So yeah, you know this.
Okay, yeah, Arnar is just going, whatever song is going to be played, Arnar is going to play some complex polyrhythm over it just because he's now thinking of it as math. So it's now like some syncopated jazz shit that might not line up with anything. I don't know. It depends on what his performance
Playing some math rock now, so playing some
get some
math rock
pool up
going.
in here.
There we go.
Yeah, schism.
Toes down to improvise. That's what he is at his greatest. So
Dance, Gavin, dance.
Incredible. Rom, what are you up to in this performance?
I thought it was just the band, the three, right? Or are we all there? Or with the robot as well? I'll do the robot.
Amazing, incredible. You get as the music starts, you see Rom just kind of with like his rock shifting and like trees kind of like kind of thing, doing one of those. Amazing. Blanca.
Also summon Rashi as well. So there's like some nice fire, like she's swimming around the crew or like the audience. And like pulling people into the music.
Nice,
Yeah.
Amazing. Blanca, what are you doing in the performance?
Well, Blanco has not howled in a long time, been in grief a long time. So he's like feeling quite joyous this evening. And so he's going to be, and the problem is, Blanco thinks he is Sergio Contreras, a very famous Spanish singer, but unfortunately, he's not.
Yeah, dog.
He's a dog. And so it's like a bit out of tune.
Amazing. And Evis, what are you doing?
Toad's gonna howl with this harmonica. It's gonna make a screech as well to kind of accompany that howl. Just feel that moment, like yes.
Still finding the harmony in it regardless. Evis, what are you doing during this?
Yeah, honestly, I think Evis is, Amber.exe has stopped working. Evis pulls out their pan flute, and is like working on creating like the high harmonies to the song that's being whistled. So, again, balance and everything. They are here to complement. So, yes, Slam.
Yes. Question for Amber. As an air gymnast, do you think you could play multiple wind instruments Whoa,
Oh,
at like the same time? Like if you had two trumpets, you could be like as you pulled the air in from behind you or something like that.
And then one with your mouse, so 3 trumpets.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you would finger the third trumpet, but I don't know. Maybe.
Yes. So, okay, yeah, I have 2 pan flutes. One for the high harmonies and one for the low harmonies. So the soprano and the based harmonies. There you go. So
So
Yeah.
sick.
I didn't even think about that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't
super
even
sick.
think about that. Thank you.
Canon. Air Genasi's can play 2 instruments. Locked and loaded. I'm actually making a note of that. Cool, amazing. So now, as a group, do you have a collective song that you guys are performing? So I now know what you're all doing. Is there a song name? Is it one that you have Toad you've maybe written, or is it maybe a rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody or
Toad.
something?
Are we just
Toad it's all about, so we're jamming, like, it's all about, that kind of Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of jam style, or, no, not the Red Hot Chili Peppers. What's the band we call in this world? The Green Jalapenos. So we're kind of, so we're like improv and vibing.
Nice.
I'm writing that down. Oh, group of bards called the Green Jalapenos. Oh, incredible! That's there now. Incredible. So it's you guys begin performing this amazing piece, and what I would like is you guys to decide whether you all want to individually roll the performance check, and we'll see if the group passes, or whether you want one person to do it with advantage. It's up to you guys. I don't know.
I feel like we should. Oh well, I've got mine.
I think group is more fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will say this: whoever looks the most uncomfortable, even if it's like a random NPC or random person, because I still have one bardic inspiration to want to inspire one more person. So who's ever, if I see Emma looking like unsure, I'm doing bardic inspiration for them. Whoever just seems like that can be us or anyone in the crowd.
Sweet.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Go
Yeah.
for it.
I mean,
Question for our wonderful DM. Can this be an intelligence-based check, as I'm treating it as math?
Oh, you know what? I love it. I love it. That's hilarious. Yes, please. That's so fun.
All right, cool, because that otherwise would be a negative 2.
Yeah. Can I treat this as a dexterity-based check? Because
Yeah. 100%.
yes, on dexterity check.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, great.
Amazing. So we've got one nat 20, by the way, already. 2 nat 20 already, by the way.
So 21.
Oh my gosh.
21. Oh my god, so that's 3
It's a 21 for me. It's a 21 for me.
That's a
Nice. 420's nice.
I get
The
a
nat
7,
one.
which is pretty much in tune with how I howl.
Amazing.
You got one dog ear.
Yeah.
One dog ear.
Okay, so you guys begin playing this song, and at the beginning, though you guys don't know each other, like Ólafur said, there is this synchronicity, this bond, this universal something that is pulling you all together, and through that, you all start doing your individual things, but within a bar or two, suddenly we're into a beautiful song, and it begins going, and you're passing the solo over to Geo, and then passing it over to R&R, and passing it to Rob, and everyone is kind of getting their moment, and people are supporting each other. You have the whole island's folk have come out to the cream of the crop, and these lot are partying like they haven't partied in years. There is alcohol flying everywhere from tankards as they're being danced around. You have, people doing traditional dwarven foot stomping. You have, all kinds of different dances going on, and it's absolutely just riotous here in the Cream of the Crop Brewery. And quickly, before we flash forward an hour or two, can you all please make a Constitution check for me?
And I will say this: why not one? Like, you guys have carried Toad, because sometimes every form we have a bad night, and so Toad's I've been struggling with it, but you guys been carrying me. I'm kind of picking the melody again. After losing a couple times, you guys been pulling back into it, pulling back in the pocket. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
is this to do with poison or disease?
No, this is for those of you drinking, it's to do with drunkenness, and for those of you not drinking, it's to do with just tiredness.
Okay,
Yeah, just being tired.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I rolled an 8.
Cool. Awesome.
I wrote a 5.
It's not a save, is it? It's just a...
Yeah, just a check. R&R?
19.
19? Hell yeah. Toad?
9?
3. 3.
Okay, handle it.
Toad is
Okay.
You started too early.
Well, I am still hungover from before because that health potion.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but I'm still gonna keep going. When I'm even when I'm passed out, I'm still gonna keep going. So,
Amazing.
I feel like you're breathing into your things.
Amazing. Cool. So the next
17.
scene, amazing, the 17, thanks. So the next scene that we cut to is an hour or two later. The music has kind of dissipated, so a couple of locals are kind of playing some bits now. And what we find is most of the locals gathered around a table that has been moved into the center of the room. At that table is sat anyone who would like to partake in the game known as Fool's Paradise, a similar thing to poker in the Sky Realm. So if you believe you would have been partaking in that, then you are at that table, and you are currently sat, looking, sharing glances with, and sat at the table as well is Ólafur. He's there, and you also have Rayward is at the table, and you have Marcelo, the butcher, is at the table as well with you guys. Cool. So as looks are being glanced, you see Thatch draws a first card and begins placing them in front of you guys. Cool. So can everyone please roll a d20 in secret, if possible, please, so that no one else can see your roll. Yes.
May I attempt to count cards?
You 100% can do. Yes,
Can
please.
if we're going down that route, can Reshi steal looks at cards?
Sure, of course.
Hey, that is quickly.
We'll make sleight of hand checks for it. We'll make
Go.
stealth or sleight of hand checks for it.
All right, yeah.
With everyone doing their own thing. Gio rolled a 7 for Constitution, so he's getting a little bit inebriated quicker than everyone else. So
do not tell anyone the d20 result, by the way, that you have all rolled.
yeah,
secretly.
but he has dropped his cards on the ground, and everyone can obviously see what he has, but he doesn't really care. He sort of picks them up again and is holding them, but one of them's facing the other way, and he turns it back this way, and he's pushing his glasses up a little bit and trying to focus in. Not used to being this merry and slightly inebriated.
As you guys sit there and you're all sharing glances of strategy being had, Thatch stands there and goes, right, so bets now, and Ólafur leans in, places an arm on the table and goes, I bet 1 gold piece, and slides it into the center. Who's next?
Gio says, well, we've been betting gold and silver and copper for a while, and it doesn't seem like it really is something that's that important to some of us. Why don't we bet things that are important to us?
Oh. Ólafur puts his finger back on his gold coin, pulls it back and goes, now I like that. He pulls from his wrist a silver bracelet that he undoes and places it in the center. He goes, my father's bracelet. Over to you, Gio. What do you bet? Do you call or do you raise?
I was just going to put my slipper in because I didn't know we were. He puts his slipper back on, and he looks on the table, and he's feeling some peer pressure, and he reaches into a shell, and he pulls out a ring, and it's a signet ring, and it's got the emblem of the Mitsuhira on it, and he's just looking around, seeing that gold bracelet, and he almost puts the ring in, and then pulls it back and takes off one of his 2 watches, identically synchronized at the same time, and puts one of his watches in and holds the ring in his hand. I'm going to put in my insurance watch. It's not my primary watch, but it is my insurance watch.
Oh,
And it is important to me because if you don't know what time it is, then you can always have insurance to know what time it is.
a worthy bet. I would say that's a call. What about you, Mr. Aranar? I assume you fold by the look on your face.
You presume things that are beyond your understanding, Ólafur. And I slide in my primary pen. And then I whip out a second pen and put it right next to my notebook on the table. It's slightly less cool.
Well. Anyone else got a razor fold before we move on?
Can I get like a hint from Rashi to tell me if I should raise or fold?
Your aim is to get the highest number possible on the cards. So if you want to have a peek at some other people's cards, yeah, you can send Reshi around.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a stealth
I
check?
assume she'd already be around, like
Cool.
earlier.
Cool. Make a perception check with Reshi then. Using Reshi.
Oh shit, 3. Plus 2, so 5.
With a 5, Reshi's kind of enjoying herself. She's like,
Can't count. Yeah.
she's just loving it, just whipping around, just, enjoying the vibe. Hasn't been around this many people for a really long time, so it's just really happy to be around people at this point.
Sweet. I'll raise them. I'll put my mask in, and I'll put that next to everything.
Oh,
Goodness.
Yeah.
What a pot.
and you see Marcelo go, I'm out. And he kind of leans back in his chair and pushes the cards into the center. He goes, too much. No, I'm out. You see Raywood. Oh, wow. If it's important things, we're betting. Okay, then. He begins undoing his belt and pulls his belt from his waist as it's the only thing that's on him, and he places it on the table. Well,
Oh, thank God.
yeah. This is my one and only belt, and I've had it since I was a wee lad. There you go. I'm in. And Blanco, anything for you or Evis?
Blanco at that point folds because the only two important things that they have is their rapier, which they will never ever part with, and the new ring around their neck, and then he's yo no puedo, I'm not doing this, I am sorry, cards have never been my thing, I do not understand, and I think I'm going to take my leave from the table at the moment. I feel like this would be a very big losing game for me, and I don't like my odds.
Rayward kind of looks at you and goes, okay, you're out, we get it. Okay. And then Thatch looks over to Evis and is like, for yourself?
I'm not a betting genasi, but I don't want Gio to lose something that's very important to him. So I put down my prayer wheel to Alia and place it in the middle and push it in, and then give Gio back the trinkets he put in.
Oh, beautiful. What does that mean, Evis?
It's like
Alia's within me no matter what. I don't need anything physical tying me to this world to represent my devotion to her.
Well,
But this is very important to you.
yeah, but I want to be part of the group too. I do want to.
Okay.
If you're okay, I got another watch.
I'm sorry for presuming.
It's okay, but are you sure you want to put that in? Because that's important too.
I'm sure. I'm not playing, but this ups the stakes for y'all a little bit.
So Gio takes a moment, just looks at Rayward and says, "We're both in without a stutter."
beautiful.
Rayward's like, wow,
It's got a tag.
isn't this interesting? And he looks around, and you can see him squinting. He's like, a lot of bluffing faces here, I think. And with that, Thatch is going to deal out the next set of cards. So can you each roll a d8, but not in secret? I would like everyone to reveal their d8 rolls.
Well, this is going on. Toad is still on stage, just laying down on stage, playing himself like he's like a bagpipe, so taking lots of air, and just like blowing out just like one constant kind of note through the harmonica, just still trying to keep the music going. Like just he's a jazz musician. He's out there just sweating, just yeah.
I was saying, you're feeling the waves from the cider. You're feeling those waves a little bit. They're you're feeling that tipsy kind of like buzz. So you're just in that like perfect flow state, you know.
Yeah, and he's laying down. He's just prostrate because he's tired, so he's just laying down, still playing.
Amazing. Cool. So can everyone reveal their D8? I'll start. Rayward got a 1.
Oh.
Ooh, I got a 6. Rom got a 6.
I got a 4.
I also got a 4.
Geo rolled an 8.
Oh shit. Rayward goes, he looks at the card, very interesting. And with that, you see him reach down and he pulls off one of his sandals. He goes, my only pair of shoes. And places one of his sandals in the middle and goes, I raise you. And takes a second to wait to see who's gonna call raise or fold.
Arnar is taking notes on everyone. Is just looking over at people, just like writing things down in his notebooks. Like, interesting. Yes. Shifting eyes.
Arnar, with what did you roll for? Can you roll a sleight of hand check for me?
Oh,
For your-
yeah.
Actually, no. Roll an intelligence check for counting cards for me.
That's what I like to hear. Proficient or no?
Yeah, proficient. Yeah, definitely. You've played cards at university.
No, not very well.
Unless you'd like to give me an advantage, that is a nat 1.
Oh, it's all good.
For a
You
6.
got a little bit lost in the putting things in there for a moment, and you lost the count for just half a second. But you're back to it. You think you've got it back.
At this point, Blanco sort of gets up from the table and is like, I will see you at the next game, my amigos. I'm just going to go and check on Toad. He's playing something, and I think I might just want to howl along for a little bit. So, Blanco gets up and goes over to Toad and is like, mi amigo, keep that going.
That gives Toad new life. Like he gets back up again off the ground from laying down, starts playing again. He's like, yes, that is beautiful. Yes, it matches that note for note. So yeah, awesome.
Incredible. Cool. Rayward's still leaning in, looking at all of you. Ólafur kind of takes a second, coughs and goes, oh, I'm out, and pushes his cards into the center.
Geo looks at Rayward's card and sees that it's the lowest card he could possibly have, and is confused, and just asks him, just to be clear, we're going high card, not low card.
Oh, you know the game. 34 beats everything, 3 beats everything else, and then highest from there wins. You know how it is, my boy. You know how it is.
I do. I've played this once or twice with my family before. And he starts unstrapping his second watch and looks at his cards again, looks at Evis, winks at Evis, and puts the watch in.
Which watch it is?
I call you.
You hear an audible gasp from the audience surrounding the table as everyone watches the young turtle slide his watch into the center.
Second watch.
I'm running out of things to put in. Wrong pack's light, I guess. I've got a stone axe. I'll put that on the table.
With a thud, the stone axe on the center of the table, it shakes all of the items that are already there, kind of like jump off the table for a quick second and then rest again. And Mr. Arno?
May I make an insight check on
Yes.
people? Especially our turtle friend.
Can I look at
so-
the version? Try and look at.
Oh my god.
Geo's
Wow.
These
I
roll.
I am rolling abysmally. That is an 8. R&R, unsure of himself, is just going to very loudly close his notebook. It slides the cards and says, "It appears you've taken my best pen."
Raywood leans in and goes, "Wow, I look forward to writing with it. Thank you, buddy." And kind of looks around the group and goes, "Right, last round it is then." And Thatch, cards down on the table. Those of you who are still in, can you roll a secret D6, please? A secret D6.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
Amazing. So, Raywood leans in and goes, "Oh, I'm in all the way." And he confirms that he is locking himself in for this final round. You guys don't need to make bets for this final run. You just need to confirm whether you're locking in or whether you're folding, basically, for this final
So
round.
16 on perception. See Geo's cards.
See Geo's cards.
Yeah.
On a 16, Reshi's kind of floats past him, like sees them for a second, and you kind of feel that mental connection for a second. Little like spark there for a second, and 1 second. 1 sec, let me run around.
Ooh. First one of the campaign.
Yeah. Let me run over. 1 second.
He's gone.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Cool. And we're back in. So, Rayward looks around the circle, and Ólafur goes, "God, the old man is incredible."
Rom is locked in. Stares at
Wonderful. What about you, Mr. Geo?
Yeah. And he looks at Rayward and he says, do you know we met Agnes today, Rayward? And he's just looking at him to see if there's any tells from that bit of information.
You can make an insight check with advantage because that was sneaky as fuck.
Yeah.
We'll make a detective out of you yet. God damn.
Man.
Stay for his daughter.
and Rayward
14.
14, amazing shit. For the 14, you see Rayward's eye and lip. You see his eyebrow and his lip twitch for a quick second. You're like, "Agnes, yeah, did you? And how did that go?"
Well, she was really, really nice, wasn't she, Ebbis? And the one
Oh,
thing
we can't
she-
hear you. Is it Amber to say something?
She was wonderful, beautiful, kind.
She really was, and the one thing that sticks with me is that she's a spitting image of you, and she said she's really, really nice and just all about the pureness of the island. So I'm just looking at you to see how you're feeling about your cards right now, Mr. Rayward.
Oh, I mean, I'm a little bit confused about what I was just asking. Wait, I feel good. My daughter, she is wonderful, and a spitting image of me, and you call her beautiful. Are you saying I'm pretty as well? Like I feel like that was a compliment hidden somewhere under there. Or I'm not. I'm just going off of what I'm hearing here, but I feel good about my cards. Does that answer your question?
I think it exactly answers my question, Mr. Rayward. I'm in.
Amazing. Cool. So, for those of you that are left in, you reveal your cards to the table and to the room, and you add up the numbers for a total. The total then depicts who is the winner. So I can let you know that Rayward places his cards into the center, and he has a 18.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah.
What do you get on your
4. That's secret though, and then
12? And then what did you get on your first d20? Okay.
So Rayward puts his cards in the center, and it is an 18. He goes, not a bad hand.
Geo looks to Evis, and we didn't actually get. Are Evis and I playing together now, the same hand, or how are we doing this?
Go on, go.
I wasn't officially playing cards. I was just putting my stuff in there to like up the ante a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Geo looks to Evis and says, well, I'm pretty sure we got Rayward. I haven't really studied R&R yet, but we've got 27.
Rayward goes,
Ooh.
shit! Damn it! Ooh. The group, audibly, ooh, you hear groups being like, Rayward's going to be talking about this for a while. And people are kind of like, you hear some murmuring in the crowd around the table. And then all eyes turn to Rom as they wait for the final set of cards to be placed in the center.
and I my color changes again to like a somber orange. It's like flickering as I push in my cards, and I pause, turn them over. 30, baby.
Oh! The crowd goes, whoa! The crowd cheers, and goes nuts. And while everyone's cheering, you see Rom, you stand up and go for it. Geo, you're like, everyone just kind of in surprise at this moment as we freeze frame and cut forward another couple of hours. Can everyone please make a constitution check for me?
Oh no,
Okay, that's not bad.
All right.
Constitution.
Just a save or just a check, right? Or
Just a check.
Oh, a check?
I mean,
Okay.
17.
yeah, my 19.
Blanco's giving Toad new life.
17.
Keep playing.
Awesome, cool. For Geo feeling a little bit deflated after that last game, thinking you were so close, and you guys notice for the rest of the night, Rayward's sack is very baggy, and he kind of has a little bit more of one of these as he's missing a sandal, as he's kind of walking around. But we cut back to the group. Now, this is a game for one person, with the group spectating. So, who would you like to be your champion, guys?
Not me.
Wait, what's the basis of the game?
The basis of the game is Dwarven Roulette. It is a drinking game involving selecting the correct pint to drink from.
Toad all day. Or
what? Can I, because of my sense of smell, am I able to sort of feel like I could?
Smelling is cheating. You must have your nose blocked by some cotton buds as part of the game. That is part of the game.
Can Toad sort of put some of it on his skin without drinking?
Yeah, that's kind of how Toad
Let's
drinks.
go.
Oh,
Yeah,
Toad.
Let's go.
For the win.
Toad all the way. We
Yes,
all
sir.
start cheering.
Toad.
Meow, me.
Hey, throw me off the rhythm. Whoa, what's going on here? Throw me off my rhythm here. What is going on?
And you see Cecil is sat at the table with the group behind him, and he's like, good old dwarven whiskey, good old dwarven roulette. Come take a seat, Toad. My friend, I'm exact. Kenji, bring the tankards. And you see the young half-elf lad, who is his apprentice, runs in with a bunch of tankards that are filled, and he places them on the table. You can see that there are 6 tankards, and as he places them down, you see Cecil begin laughing. So, Dwarven Roulette. 5 are alcohol, 1 is piss. We drink until we find the piss. Are you ready?
Thank God we got Toad to do this.
Are you ready, Mr. Toad?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm drinking worse things, so. You know,
Swamp water.
Amazing. He quickly grabs some cotton pieces and slides them across the table. He goes, for the nose, and places them in. He then goes, now the ceremonial closing of the eyes, will you please? And he places his hands over his eyes and asks Toad to do the same.
Do toads have noses?
you know what? Wait a second. That is a good question. I'm gonna picture a toad. Let me see something. I mean,
Do toads have noses?
that's
Yeah.
a good.
They have little nostrils. They got
Yeah,
little
they
guys.
do.
They got little guys.
Yeah.
They got tiny little guys.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
sensitive.
Actually,
By the eyes,
They
I
did.
would like to be up here.
but it's using the openings of the roof of their mouth, so it's using more like the mouth to more to
Okay.
smell. Yeah. So.
Cotton
can see.
ball in the mouth then. Oh.
I will.
In this drawing of Toad, he clearly has tiny nostrils.
Yeah. And you know him better than anybody.
Of course.
Well, a quick muscle check.
So as Toad and Cecil cover their eyes, Toad, if you would like to cheat, this is your opportunity. If you don't wish to cheat, you may keep your eyes closed, sealed, with honor.
I'll keep him. I think Toad will keep him. He's still kind of confused what's going on, so just keep him close. He's like, okay, he's
Amazing.
going with it. So yeah, I'll keep him close.
When that happens, they both close their eyes. Cecil goes, Kenji, shuffle them. And you see the young half-elf begin mixing the mugs around and switching them and crossing them. And eventually you have them laid out on the table in front of both of you, between both of you. Yes, Ron?
Whose piss is it?
That's a good question.
Is a great question, my Warforged friend. And Cecil proudly places his hands on his hips and goes, that would be my piss.
All right. Just thought I should know. I should know.
Not a problem. Just hey, it's now out there. It's out there for everyone. So it's there.
You have a heavy diet of asparagus.
As it so happens, I've been eating a lot of leeks recently. It's kind of been my thing, but it's only because that's all we've really been able to grow in the drought times recently. So
That has to be on a t-shirt. Has to be on a t-shirt.
and with that, 1 second. I'm just gonna roll my d6. Oh, okay. And he's going to go. You may choose first, my toad friend. Would you like mug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6?
3 is a magic number.
3, the magic number. As you kind of reach across, how are you drinking? How are you testing this?
Can we open our eyes now? So Toad's still just like eyes closed.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, you can open your eyes. Yes, sorry. My apologies. Yes, sorry. Yes, you can open your eyes and take the tankard and have a sip, or consume how you do.
Can I open up the top? Like, is it so? It's a tankard. So it's like, is it a can I fit inside? I guess is a better question.
They're big enough that you could probably dip your butt in. I guess you probably would get stuck at about hip height.
I mean, as long as the legs can I can still drink technically because So I'm gonna just plop in.
As you submerge in the yellow liquid in front of you, you feel it seeping in to your pores, and it begins fermenting in. It's alcohol. You're totally fine. As you find out that it's alcohol, what do you say to the group as everyone is waiting in anticipation to hear what it is?
It's a step above piss, but just a little bit.
Everyone. The group cheers and celebrates, and then turns to Cecil. Cecil. Well, usually. Well, okay, here we go. And he reaches out. He hovers over number 4 for a second before quickly switching to number 1 and grabbing it. He lifts while maintaining eye contact with you, Toad. Alcohol! And he slams it back down on the table. That's 1. Back to you, Mr. Toad. And everyone cheers again, and a little bit of noise goes around. Right, which one?
Oh no, give me a number.
3.
Already did 3. Wait, that has to be a different number.
I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to something else. 7.
It has to. I don't think there is. There's.
Ah. Clearly, you should choose 5. Well, can I make a perception check to kind of?
You please do. Perception or investigation, whichever you prefer.
Oh, and
you're looking at
You
it.
know I'm gonna do that investigation.
And Toad's gonna like fall out of it. He's gonna try to squeeze out because Toad's a little bigger, you know, a little bit of. He's not the skinniest Toad, so we're gonna just kind of plop out of it. Okay. Sorry about that. There's a yeah.
Do you still have that inspiration?
That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll clean that later. Don't worry. Yes, you do. You do from
You're
last.
I mean,
You do from the last session, from the hanging off the edge, feet dangly scene.
oh, I meant bardic inspiration, but you know what?
Oh.
I want to help my friend.
You might, because did you
not-
ever use the bardic inspiration before? Because I know I gave it to you a while ago.
It lasts 10 minutes. It would be
Oh,
long
true.
gone by now. But if you still have one in the chamber, if you want to like help yourself not take a bath and piss, I mean that's your call.
Hey, where I'm from, like, piss ain't nothing.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll use my inspiration for this. I mean, come on. So what is it? Advantage or is it what kind of dice is your inspiration?
Inspiration is typically a D8 flat, unless I bump it up to other things, because I sometimes, if it's a super badass scene, I'll bump it up to higher things. So D8.
Okay, so that was a 13 plus 6, 19.
19. With a 19, you look at those mugs, and as Toad begins going towards number 5, you're looking at number 5, and then you look at number 4, and you look back at number 5. And there is a difference, though it is the most minute difference. You can see that number 4, and then as you look down the line to number 2, both of them have the smallest amount of bubbles rising to the surface. You
Number
can see
2.
that number 5 is completely flat.
Number 2, Toad. For us 2 best friends. I would do 3 for Geo, but you already selected 3.
Gotcha. Number 2 it is, so I...
And 7
Over.
is right out, as there are not 7 drinks. Yes. I'm sorry, I've been a little distracted. But 2 would be your best course of action. I think.
Sounds good to me. So I'm gonna hover over it and just kind of plop us right in, slowly, making eye contact. Just slowly, slowly go down.
Amazing. As you lower yourself in, instantly as your toes hit, you can feel that same taste that you felt a second ago. Boom! Alcohol, baby, you're all good.
I make a face like tongue about like it's nasty, like tongue's like out, like I just died. Like, just kidding.
Oh! Everyone's like, oh! Starts cheering again. And he looks for a second. He looks back at the last 2 options and inhales deeply. You can see as he reaches forward, his dwarven hand shaking a little bit as he grasps number 5 in his hand and begins raising it to his lips. As he does, he drinks and instantly spits out. The group cheer and start laughing and cheering.
Yay!
And at that moment, we are going to freeze frame again from that moment. And can we make our final constitution check, please?
I do something?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
May I speak to Ólafur at some point during the night?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It's 11
excellent.
on my con.
Cool. 11 on your con. Cool.
That's an 8 on my con.
Amazing.
17.
17.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Arnar.
13.
13.
Still rolling low with a 6.
Okay.
Oh no.
As we cut to a couple hours later, so who got above a 12? Sorry, I know there was a dirty 20 and there was a 16 as well.
17.
17 and a 13. Amazing. Cool. Evis, what was yours again?
And 8.
Mate, awesome. Okay, cool. So, Blanco, Rom, and Arnar. As the night kind of came to a close and everyone began making their way back to, Crema East, where all the residents live, and everyone was kind of staggering across the lawn. A couple people, tripping up, stopping to take a drink out of the well, that kind of thing. Classic drunken behavior going on. The rest of the group kind of has begun kind of petering off as well. Toads, musically snoring over in the corner on one of the chairs.
Yes.
Evis has gone up and claimed one of the bunks upstairs for themselves. Geo, what did you roll, Geo?
6.
Geo is legitimately just shelled up in the center of the floor. Has just in the center of the bar floor is just inward shell and just out. No parts of him are sticking out.
Can I be on my back?
Yeah, you're on your back. Yeah, exactly. On your back. Perfect. And you three, Blanco, Rom, and Arnar, are kind of the last ones there. And Thatch has basically said to you guys, when you guys are ready, head up to bed. I'm gonna basically lock in. I'm gonna lock the pub up, and when you guys are ready, feel free to make your way up. But you're welcome to chill down here. And you guys find the three of yourselves sat with snores and various noises coming from sleeping people around the tavern. Yes, Ara.
Is Ólafur still awake?
Great question. Ólafur is indeed awake. You can see that he is. Though you can see, you guys are kind of sat and you guys are kind of looking around. You see him kind of lift himself out between two chairs and is like, oh god, I definitely was out of it for a little bit there. What? Oh, what happened? What time is it? Oh, hey guys. He kind of makes his way over to you and kind of sits next to you guys as well.
Hello. I have a question.
It's approximately 1:13.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Really precise. Are you looking at my watches?
Mm-hmm.
No? Fair enough.
Yes. I don't have a mental clock. I'm perceptive.
Okay, I totally thought you were a mental clock. Anyway,
referencing in our little section there, Rom basically said that they hung a bunch of all the winnings on their antlers at the moment. So
yeah,
they're growing out of their head.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, 2 questions, I guess. One, is Ganjika legal here? And 2, do you still have it on you, Toad? Is Toad even here? Toad's not here.
Oh,
Toad is asleep.
Is he in the room?
Yeah.
No, go pickpocket him.
It's gonna be sticky because it goes on me. I mean, do I even have it's it goes so on me, it's gonna be. You can take it.
Yeah.
Sorry. What was the question? Oh, legal.
Ganjika. Yeah.
And he kind of takes a second, and as you see him kind of think, have you ever seen a drunk person when they're sat and they're kind of thinking, and they kind of do that wobble a little bit, they're oh, and he kind of then leans in again and goes, wait, what was the question you asked me again?
Is Ganjika legal?
Yeah. I don't know about here, but in the People's Republic, no. No. If you get caught smoking, that's all. You're in trouble. No.
Fair enough. I don't really want to go pickpocket my new friend of his drugs, so I feel like that'd be pretty bad. But I'll save it for another day.
If he asks, I mean, if you want to ask, because Toad would definitely
Yeah. I mean, if you're fancying the smoke, Ólafur, I'm happy to help with the smoking of whatever you're smoking.
I can see that. Yeah, I'm so down. Charity's caring, right? Yeah, I snap off a little antler and poke Toad, wake him up.
You heard a squawk from the harmonica. What's up? Yeah. Yes.
I saw that you were just stirring, and so I was just do you want to go for a smoke?
Ólafur staggers over and puts his arm around Ryan's hey buddy, Here I am for smoking.
Yeah.
Oh, the Andrika kind of pats himself down, like just peels it off. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sure. You know, I'll give this to you. I'm gonna go back to sleep. I'm a little exhausted. But here we go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Cheers. Do you have a pipe? Maybe a left lung to smoke it?
Ólafur reaches into his coat and pulls out a pipe. He's like,
Go back to sleep. Go to bed. Go. Yeah, and so just green. I can't even smile. As I turn to Ólafur and then to Arnar and jostle the bag.
Before you go, Toad's gonna be like, hey, I really appreciate how you how you go for the environment and the creatures. Like that's, yeah, 'cause he kind of does a little Toad hiccup. That means a lot to me. So just so you know, I appreciate that.
I mean, that's my duty, but you sleep well, and I ruffle your scales.
I'd be like, thanks, but no, but thank you, but yeah.
Cool.
We'll just pound it.
Pound it, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Look at him. We'll tuck it out, and I
as you kind of say, Ólafur kind of steps back and bumps into Arnar. He's like, oh, hey, buddy. Hey. Oh. He's like, oh. And he places a hand on your on the lapel of your jacket and kind of grabs it for a second. He's like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, you said did you want to talk to me or something? I thought I heard you say my name. Did you say my name?
I did, but it appears you are not entirely cognizant at the moment.
Oh, yeah, shoot away.
I'd prefer this be in private.
He kind of looks around and he goes, okay, Rom, I'll be there. You go outside. I'll meet you outside. I'll be there.
I'll sit next to Pangaea. I guess you guys go somewhere.
Okay, let's go. And he kind of staggers over and then flumps himself down in the booth and he's like, what's up? And Sato kind of flies over and lands on his shoulder, and the dragon seems a lot more awake than usual. It's not flumped, asleep or drunk. It seems a lot more awake and is kind of watching you and almost like it's the dragon is listening to you.
Then R&R will pick up on that and kind of direct his question more at the dragon then, and say, as the leader of an extremely illegal revolutionary organization, I'm sure you understand the necessity for transparency. What organizations fund you?
He for a second is like, and then looks at Sato, and you see this moment where he kind of looks and opens an eye as if they're connecting telepathically or in some way, and then he kind of goes, okay, I'll be honest with you. We do have a little bit of help from the Dawn. The Dawn helps us out, but he's a great guy. He's a really good guy once you get to know him. Trust me, when you come back to the People's Republic, I'll introduce you sometime. The Dawn is Leo's always the best. You may seem scary, but he's the best. That guy. Whew.
You're funded by a crime organization?
Well, I mean, they do their bits, right. He's kind of trying to kind of steady himself a little bit, and he's like, so they just, we help them with any problems in terms of if guards are not letting them get the water and stuff, it's at the bathhouse and they need water, so we help with that sometimes, and in return, a bit of money, means we can do more. It's, little tit for tat kind of thing. We're lesser evil, I guess,
Ólafur, you do understand that crime organizations are inherently opportunistic, and in terms of the Dawn, there is something that is going to be a bit more than just tit for tat. Despite the fact that you are both on the same side of the law, namely outlaws, this does not mean you share common goals.
That's a good point. But
Yeah.
let me just say now, you're real convincing tonight. I don't know how you, the greatest detective, getting it out of me. But Don's, he presents one way, he's another way to other people. I've known him since the first rebellion. And kind of, takes a little bit of a stagger. He's like, he's been around. His daddy was doing the stuff with us, ages ago. His daddy was, so it's all good, I know. Wait, what do I know?
We need to tread lightly. I don't know what you know. Only you know what you know.
Ah.
It cannot be in your mind.
Yeah, man, I feel that. And he kind of takes a second and he's like, I'll tread lightly, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go to bed, man. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna get out of here. And he pats you on the shoulder, and as he does, he stops for a second and looks you in the eye and goes, it's okay. And then kind of staggers away and begins making his way towards the bunks and heading upstairs.
At this point,
What?
Pangaea looks to Rom and says, my friend, this has been a fantastic evening. I have found my voice again. I think that my howling is second to none. Maybe, just maybe, R&R and Toad and Geo might consider me into the group.
green
I could be the lead singer of
The green
the.
jalapenos. I feel that. Yeah. Definitely
It feels like they are lacking in this area.
Well,
and
definitely the howling.
yeah, and I think
passion,
you know what?
like,
Yeah,
wind
and it's like, I just take it to that, take it to that next level,
Yeah,
it's
from
like,
the belly.
I can go high, and the low, and it's just, come on with a voice like this, you have to spread it to the people,
Yeah,
I
like,
think,
Otherwise, like, it's unfair. It's
Yeah.
wrong not to give it to them.
Yeah, thank you, I
feel that.
Yeah, this has been such a good night. I'm gonna turn in. I'm going upstairs to get some rest for 11 o'clock. We'll come around very, very quick. Hasta mañana, mi amigo.
Abuelo Seno Doris.
That's
Sleep
you.
well.
I think you need to practice your doggish a bit
Yeah,
more.
I
It's
feel it.
yeah,
It's
it's
really
not
rusty.
tan bueno. It's,
Yeah.
But I appreciate the effort and
Sleep well,
yes.
my new companion. or
Thank
friend.
you. Hasta mañana.
Sam, what were you gonna ask or say?
Yeah, if I have a moment, I'd like to kind of go through my notes on what I have about the Claw and their various operatives and my relationship to them.
Cool. So, are you looking for something in particular as you sift back through, or is this just a general, like, a reminder for yourself?
This is both a reminder and just seeing if I can piece together whether or not they are more Robin Hood types, or if they are using this situation to pivot it back to themselves and profit in their own way by exploiting the situation.
It's a great question. So, in terms of your knowledge, having lived in downtown and being a resident of the People's Republic at this point, you know that R&R would know very much so that basically from downtown to the end of the island into deep downtown, all the way to the end of the People's Republic, is the Dawn's territory. Imperials do operate down here. There's much fewer guards though, and it is much more of like a community-based area. Like, it's one of those ones where, the community, though they, like the situation, it's the lesser evil. They either side with the Imperials who are oppressing them, or they take, protection from someone who is, doing some illegal things within the city, but, is willing to protect the little guy. So, for example, the store at which you operate out of, that the owner of that store, your friend, that she has an accord with the Dawn's people that no one will mess with their store, as long as and this is all that she's told you, is that when the dawn asks, when the day finally comes and the dawn asks, that the people answer his call. That is all he asks people to promise.
So it's not like weekly extortion where they come in like, hey, the Don's looking for his payment, you know what I'm saying? Just slide across the counter. More like just a kind of general favor thing, like Luca Brasi style in The Godfather.
It's more of a case of the Don basically, yes, in the sense of he basically goes, you turn a blind eye to some of the stuff we're doing.
Okay.
If the guards are chasing, some of my people in downtown, you inhibit in ways that you can without putting yourself in any danger, But the main thing that he wants from people is the promise that when the call is made, that the people will answer that call. Okay. That is his main thing that he asks of people when he offers his protection.
All right, cool. Then Arnar is still a little suspicious just because that's his personality, but that's a bit of a relief to know. Cool. So yeah.
Amazing.
Sorry if that was boring for podcasting. Yeah. I don't know. I just had to know.
No, it's great. It's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit of boring. And Toad, now you living in public, you would also know all of that information as well. You'd know a good proportion of that as well. So finally, we're left with Arnar and Rom, last two in the tavern, as Blanco is headed up and Ólafur is kind of walked up the first couple, tripped on the fourth step, banged his knee, and they're like, shit. And then you kind of hobbled up the last couple of stairs. But yeah, you guys are left, just the two of you.
Do you know the time? Actually, wait. What is the time on this watch? I was up at the end, to be honest.
Yeah, I was like...
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the time? It's probably at this point nearing around 2-ish. Yeah. Okay. 2 a.m. Yeah.
Kind of should head to bed. I might power down soon. Not that I don't appreciate the company on enough.
I see. Yes. I should also probably get some sleep and ruminate upon various cases that I have now taken on for some reason. So, yes, here's my schedule has docked up quite nicely. But it's been nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too. Good work today. Good game of poker. Really enjoyed that. It was really fun. And yeah, thanks
to you.
Yeah. So, as you guys kind of make your way off to sleep,
just power down in
literally
in the spot I left.
Amazing, awesome. Ron powers down and turns that beautiful purple color that you turn when you power down. And Arnar, are you watching him power down? and taking some notes.
Interesting. We could possibly use this for an infiltration. Then goes to bed.
Amazing. Takes a little note of that. And as you guys all fall into REM sleep.
Or ROM sleep.
Yeah. Your minds are pulled and sucked through space and time until suddenly you guys all snap. And as you blink your eyes, the light kind of adjusts, your eyes adjusting to the light, you now see that you are sat in a lecture hall. And as you look to your left and as you look to your right, you can see that there are people filling the pews of seats that ascend upwards in stadium style. And down at the front is a large oak desk with no chair behind it. Resting on the desk is a black cat with a little white strip on its chin, just purring calmly, and its tail is just kind of whipping like this in the air as it does. On the on the front wall in front of you, you can see there's a giant blackboard that spans from one side to another. And written on the blackboard is guest speaker, Garmer, author of the NPC Encyclopedia, TM. And then, and you can see bent over the desk at the front is a gentleman, and he's kind of stood looking at something as he does. you can basically see that he is tall and he's wearing layers of elegant robes that have been kind of like folded and wrapped around each other. And so this gentleman is kind of like flipping through a book for a second and then stops. As he stops, he looks up at the group and at the rest of you. And you can see that his face is, he has a little soul patch, just a little soul patch here, and his hair is kind of slicked back. You can see around his neck is some sort of ivory hook necklace. And he kind of looks up for a moment and goes,
"Hello everyone. You can call me Gaumer, and Supreme Wizard Sulip has asked me to speak with you today about ornamency. So before we get started, who could tell me what ornamency is? Anyone? Anyone? Sulip's really letting the curriculum slip these days. Alright, let's start at the beginning. Ornamency is magic that utilizes a true name as the nexus of their casting. Now, true names have been hotly debated for as long as magic has existed. Do not start a conversation with Sulip about it. Not going to end well for you. And in my opinion, it has gotten incredibly complicated. So, let's think of it in the simplest way possible. A true name is a name that the soul responds to. I mean, consider that we're all born and immediately given a name. We didn't choose it. We had no say in the matter. And most of the time, it's not even picked with us in mind. Though many of us come to appreciate and respect our true names, or our names, given names anyway. Plenty of people, that's not the case. They resent it. They feel it is incomplete, incorrect. And that is the most key point of a true name. A true name can never be given. It can only be self-actualized. Now sure, over time, if a person changes, their true name may change as well. But it is always up to them. It is their personal name. And there is something powerful in something so personal. Now, being able to use a true name correctly, you're not speaking to the person anymore. You're speaking directly to their soul. And the soul will listen. It's not often it gets spoken to in such a direct manner. If you say nice things, you can bolster it, empower it, strengthen it. If you say hurtful, mean things, you can weaken it, diminish it. And if you can charm it, if you can shift its perspective, you can alter how that person thinks and feels. Like that. I mean, for the love of the gods, I made a spell that could teleport someone regardless of location or temporal space directly to me for a short period. And realistically, what is that? A few words and a few flicks of the wrist.
As he says this, you hear a bell ring. As it rings, and he looks to the door for a second, you hear other doors outside of the lecture hall that you're in begin opening, and a kerfuffle and noise kind of happening as loads of footsteps begin going. He goes, I suppose that's the end of our time today. I hope you all enjoyed this lecture today about true names. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And as he's saying this, people are like getting up and beginning to leave and like taking no kind of notice. Everyone is beginning to kind of move down the side. And as you stand up, you look down at your hands. You can see they're very similar to the hands at which you saw last time you were dreaming. Though they seem less wrinkly, more young. And as you look to the arms, you can see on the left hand a small splotch of skin that is not like the olivey color that the hands are, but is solid black, just peeking out from under the robe that you are wearing. And as you get up and collect your books and make your way down with the flow of people, you can see the gentleman at the front, Garmer, says, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to stay behind and ask. And he's saying that as people are kind of like walking out. And you kind of make your way down, being a little bit more slow and apprehensive as you do. And as you get to the bottom of the stairs, you turn and the last kind of people walk out. And it's just you and him. And suddenly, a voice that you've heard before, though less raspy and less hard, comes out of your mouth. And it says, I I have some questions, specifically about the spell that you talked about at the end. Is that something that you could reverse? And with that, the gentleman behind the desk steps out and round and he goes, my boy, if you're interested, this is only just the beginning. And with that, you guys are sucked back from the body out and you appear back in your individual bodies as you all awake the next day in various places that you fell asleep on Lacrima. And that is where we are going to take our break today, guys.
Waffles amazing. Damn. That was good.
Amazing.
Man.
Sick.
Awesome.
Oh, I've got so many questions.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Skyrim. We really hope you enjoyed the team's festivities and drinking games, as well as also them experiencing another one of those strange dreams. What do they mean? Who knows? Keep watching as next episode our players travel towards the People's Republic, the biggest city in the Skyrim, to begin their journey as water runners. And as always, guys, if you enjoy this show, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, whatever your preferred platform is. And furthermore, if you want to join our ever-growing community, we have our Discord channel in the description as well. There's just a link down there, so give that a click. You can get early content, art from the show, as well as also behind the scenes footage, amazing stuff like that. Also, if you happen to like MMA, we have a little community in there for that as well. So, thank you so much again, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See you then. Bye.